Yo, peace to the peoples. How y'all doing, man? Yo, this dude better done. And as usual, we rocking with the Lord, man. This is daytime flow. Put your shades on. Sun is shining. It's radiant out here. You know, we ain't got no other reason not to feel joyful on a day like this. Hey, yo, if you like my videos, hit that like button and subscribe. I mean, why you wouldn't? I don't really understand, but at the same time, I do. I mean, I got like 10,000 views, close to 10,000 views, and I'm just wondering why, you know what I mean, people aren't liking the videos. Because, I mean, if it's whack, you know, let me know in the comments so I can see what it is I can do, you know, to make it better. But today, I want to talk to the guys. I want to talk to the real right guys, you know what I mean, because right now, it's your time. A lot of people don't understand why they can't get off the gerbil wheel. And the reason is simple, man. You know, you don't want to transition with the way that life is right now. You know, like I said, this is for the real right guys, though. You know, the guys that been through the jail system, that's just coming home, or, you know, guys that's just living that life. You know, for a long time, we've been playing on each other. We've been hurting each other, doing treacherous things. You know, and the main reason why we're so guarded towards one another is because we all have a certain strength within us that only we could acknowledge. Now, we don't really put our finger on it. You know, we just know that, you know, in the mix of other black men, we tend to feel possibly an equal challenge or maybe an equal threat. So we always feel like we have to prepare ourselves for one another. But in essence, all it really is we're one of the same, you know. And the battle was never for it to be fought between us, one another. It was, our purpose is to uplift society, uplift the world, because we are the strength of society. You know, why do you think that through all trials and tribulations that we're faced with, we make it out of it one way or another? You know, slavery, prison, poverty, you know, and even on the flip side of things, sports, music, fashion, we dominate anything that we choose to put our minds to. It's just that a long time ago, Lucifer cloaked black men with a destructive spirit, and we've been faithful and loyal to that. You know, it got us so tainted and sick and caught up in it that we think that when we're in the hood and we're selling drugs and, you know, doing all these different things to get money, that we're actually balling, like we're actually those dudes. But in actuality, it's the flip side around. Like, we're cursed. You know what I mean? I mean, what's good, bro? All right. I mean, at the end of the day, how are we gaining by killing off our people? Because if we're not doing nothing productive, then it's destructive. Simple as that. If you're not representing the light, you're representing the dark. Simple as that. There's no in between. Anybody that plays the between road tends to be the most dangerous type of people, because on one hand they want to be good, but then they do bad things. You know, so they're playing both roles, you know, and it'll never turn out good for that type of person ever. But God is real to my beloveds, man. God is real, man. You know, I think that when we are sent to prison, DFY, group homes, things of that nature, it's not only because we're built for it, it's also because we're so robust and so full of energy that if we don't sit down and have time to reflect on the things that we do, then we will spiral out of some form of control that we wouldn't be able to come back from. So I think that the Lord allows us to go through certain things like that because physically He knows that we'll be built to deal with it, and mentally He wants us to understand the actual gift that we have, where this strength comes from, and the wisdom, and what it's to be utilized for, opposed to what we choose to utilize it with. You know what I mean? Or for, excuse me. Now, how do you know if God plays a prevalent role in your life on a daily basis? Well, this is how God operates. You have to look back in your past to think about how you got here in the present, what obstacles you faced, what choices you made. Because if you made choices to whereas if you would have went the other way, something bad could have happened to you, then that means that you're using your brain and you're thinking more along the lines of how the Lord would want us to think. So He'll bless you. And blessings aren't material. Blessings aren't, you know, it's not what people always tend to really think that it is. It's not really what it is you want it to be. You're gonna have to put in footwork. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to put hands-on work in order to actually acquire these material things, if that is what it is you want. But God is also going to know within your heart if you distinguish the difference in these things having actual value and when these things don't, and the actual value exists within yourself, and you understand that these things are just additives to a life that is already joyful to you. Now, my true test, just as for a lot of other black men, is our ego and pride. What we allow things in society to cause us to make rash decisions. You know, our sole purpose in life as black men, as I said, is to build and secure society in the sense of keeping everything strong, keeping the authenticity there. Why do you think so many strong black men are locked up? Yes, it's because of things that they did with their own hand, but they didn't understand the bigger agenda. When all of these guys got snatched off the streets and they got all of this time, 25 years to life, 50 to life, these guys are tough, hardcore guys. But at the same time, the majority of these guys, they aren't cruel at heart. They're not wicked at heart. They're just doing, this is a part of their environments. And the majority of them they're thinking just how I'm talking right now. They're thinking like this. And it's just that everybody comes to this understanding on their own terms. And this is why Lucifer is so upset at me. Because I was supposed to be another statistic. You know, Lucifer felt like I was so consistent with the things that I was doing that basically I was the general for him. And I was working and operating for him. When in essence, when I was born, God just wanted me, just as He wants for many of us, to walk through the illusion that Lucifer created. God, let that be. Go ahead. Yeah. Oh, you gonna turn all my kids against me? Okay. I'm gonna allow them to walk through this circus that you created, and I'm going to see if they believe you, or if they believe their intuition. Because if they believe their intuition, then they believe me. If they believe the illusion, then they believe you. So who are the people that believe in the illusions? The people that believe in the illusions, they exist in every circle. Listen to their conversation. What is their conversation about? Is it about uplifting things, or is it about destructive things? And that right there in itself will tell you who the demonic people are and who you need to stay away from. Now, another thing for black men that we don't realize, especially black guys coming from the system, mainly black guys come from the system. When we get locked up and we go away, our life stops right there as we know it. But the world continues to spin. Now, when we come home, we fail to realize that things actually change. So we come home being who we were when we left. And this is why we don't get to grow out of the capsule that we tend to be in. You have to first acknowledge that things are different. And then you got to sit back and observe to see how different things are. You put yourself into the equation without becoming what society is. And then you take your time and you build step by step. There's no rush. You got to understand, confidence comes from within. So when you put pressure on yourself to feel like you need to catch up to the Joneses, all that's basically screaming to yourself is that you're only valuable when you have material things that people would like. And that's exactly what God wants us to start combating. He wants us to start feeling comfortable in our own skin, because it's who we are as individuals that other people should like, and not the material things that we have. Because if it's the material things that they like that we have, do they actually like us at all? You know what I mean? So, we got to take that pressure off our heads to feel like we have to look a certain way or hang out with certain crowds or drive certain cars to feel relevant. You know what I mean? All you got to do is step outside your house and you relevant. Actually, all you got to do is wake up and you relevant. Why? Because God deemed it necessary for you to wake up. He felt like you was important to some degree in his purification of modern day society. Lucifer had us in the headlock for a long time. He had me in the headlock for a long time, because for a long time, all I wanted to do was hurt people. Not innocent people, but people that was living along the lines of the life that I was living. I just felt like, damn, man, I want to go hurt somebody.